to my first impression of the submarine. I got the Tier 8 U-130 and the American one. I don't remember what the name was, but let's see what it has. And we are actually gonna equip everything we can and take it for a test drive. My very first impression is that co-op is not the very best mode to test the submarines, because subs doesn't have range and the battle is pretty much over when I get into range. Every game I've had so far is when I get into range, about 1 or 2 enemy ships are left, because the enemy ships are bots and they are rushing in, and the surface ships kill them off before I get into range. So there's not much time to actually test how to attack, how to do anything. So it's basically just training to how to learn how to dive, to surface, to ping, sometimes if you get close enough. But how the torps behave, how to do any strategy, no, forget that. Let's jump ahead a bit to the actually first encounter for me. So here I'm finally in range doing my ping and switching to my torps to torp and the enemy is dead. This is how pretty much every game for me has been as a submarine. So submarine testing, no, not for submarines. It's more surface vehicles getting to test how to play against submarines, but submarine tests against surface, no, absolutely not. I'll dive, try to surprise this battleship coming in, and it disappears because I dived too deep, but oh, learning experience. Surface again. To acquire the target. There it is. I get to ping. Hopefully. And he's dead. Let's see. Sub versus sub encounter. Okay. You can't aim too low. You need to be even higher. Why? Okay, no problem. Finally hit him. Let's ping once more and send the torps. Here we go. I have 2 sets homing in on him. I should be able to hit at least 1 or 2 torps. It's the same sector again. He damage can't, but the Kagero gets in with depth charges. And that's all the damage I could do this game. You see, every ship died before I get to do anything, and this is not adequate testing. I've learned how to control my ship, but I don't learn how to actually perform attacks and do battle. So we have to wait for real player versus player battles. So let's see. Surface battle against submarines. How does that happen? Again, playing tier 6 here, playing a destroyer. That should be the best one to attack submarines. And let's see when I get close. Here I finally, after shooting that, is spotting a submarine, and let's try to launch our anti-submarine warfare.
The ship is on fire! Problem solved, sir!
Here in the very first run, I do a mistake because I had, in my mind, I had the impression that we had several charges that, like we had in the PTR when the submarines was introduced. I tested, and we could launch several times. But we only have one charge now, so I missed completely the first drop. But at least I get to see how the UI informs me that the submarine has pinged me. Yeah, this has to be a little bit improved. Because in the heat of battle, it's very difficult to see what actually is flashing. So I do a second run over, and not the best drop over him. But let's see. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hits. And that didn't kill him. That means they have actually improved the survivability of the submarines, because in PTR I could actually one-shot a submarine. Now they have some survivability. That's good. And here's another thing I really don't like. You see that small bar under the health bar? I really don't think we should have that to see how much energy the enemy sub has before it has to surface. I think that gives a little bit of unfair advantage. The submarine has problems to survive anyway, so why give them that disadvantage as well? No. Okay, here's another game. Let's see when I try to... In this game, I don't want to drop my depth charges. I want to shoot my guns and try to ram and see what happens. So let's jump forward to when I actually encounter the first sub. Okay, here we go. Let's try to hit them with the guns. Tiny damage, tiny damage. It's really difficult to hit them with the guns. There's not much to shoot at. A little bit splash damage helps, but between 250 and 500 damage per shell, that's what you can experience in tier 6. That will prove to be pretty difficult as a DD to actually gun down a DD. So on the surface, DDs are not much of a threat for submarines. Yes, they will do small ship damage, but not much. You could actually, as a submarine, torp the DD instead. But we actually managed to kill the submarine. And let's see if we can find the next one and try to ram it and see what happens. Here we go. Here we have a sub, and he's out of energy, so he is forced to go up. Let's put ourselves in front of him and see if he rams me, what happens. Not much of a damage for me, and a little bit more to him, but not much. Ramming a submarine is not a viable option. Not much will happen. Let's see if my teammate can do the same. Yes, he did, and the game was over, and yeah, not much to say. My final thoughts on this is that Submarines has not yet been fully tested, has not been fully balanced, and there's a lot of things they had to do, but I don't think it's time to actually introduce them into the game. And now when we get them in ranked, it's gonna be really difficult to find the DD submarines, I mean. And submarines will have very little impact except delaying the game. So I'm not too positive, but let's see what happens. Let's test the same thing in ranked when the ranked starts. That's for me, and thank you and goodbye. See you next time.